up, everybody? This is JP. Today is National Teddy Day. I got my teddy right here. Where's
It's
yours?
National Teddy Day. What is National Teddy Day?
I don't know, but I love bears.
Okay.
Welcome to the JP Show. Once again, this is JP with my dad, Jason. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and enjoy. Please hope you enjoyed the video.
Thanks. So let's kick off today's episode then, Jay. What are we thinking about in terms of topics? I know there's a lot going on this week in the NBA, so we definitely want to get to a lot of that, right?
This week has been crazy. Off the court, there's been about a bunch of trades right at the trade deadline,
Right.
and I'm looking forward to talking about that.
Yep.
But before we do that, we we need to give props to an all-time great legend,
Okay.
LeBron James,
Yeah. Yeah.
four-time MVP, four-time champion, four-time Finals MVP, 19-time All-Star, 18-time All-NBA, and has now broken Kareem's scoring record for most points scored in a career. Congratulations, LeBron James. This is an incredible feat that may never ever be broken.
Right. Yeah. Congrats, Brian. So yeah, what do you think? I mean, what does this accomplishment do? I mean, he's got a lot of records, and definitely his longevity and his versatility is pretty undeniable. Where do you have LeBron all time?
Before I had MJ as the greatest player of all time. And after, what does that change?
Nothing. MJ's still the greatest of all time.
Yeah. But, I mean, I've heard the question over and over. What does this do for LeBron's legacy?
Right.
And this scoring record does make LeBron's resume glitter even more.
Mm-hmm.
But the things MJ's been able to do just by watching him, he just looks different. He just looks so much better than everybody else playing. Nobody, like, if you throw something at him, he'll just go around it. Like, if you throw two defenders at him, he'll score right over them. If they stop you from scoring, you'll become a passer. He can lock down your opposing team best wing player or guard.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're the stats guy. How many all NBA defensive teams did Michael Jordan have?
9.
9. Yeah. Defensive Player of the Year once, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. People don't talk about that as much, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, you got that, you got the stats, you got the rings, you got the dominance. If you look at advanced statistics for Michael Jordan in terms of offensive efficiency and utilization, that's pretty incredible also. The eye test, I mean, you talked about the eye test a bit there. So,
But just for the record,
mm-hmm.
I love and I'm a huge fan of LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big reason of why I'm an NBA fan today. And his ability to dominate for so long, his versatility, his longevity, his durability, it's amazing, and it's second to none to me.
Absolutely. Influence, all of that.
Yes. So once again, congrats to LeBron on the all-time scoring record. Once again, it's an incredible feat, and let's get into the video.
Yeah, let's get into the rest of the next topic. And actually, JP, before we even get into the trade deadline stuff, I want to ask you a few questions. We haven't really talked about this on the show yet, but you're on the basketball team at Huron High School now, right? You're on the freshman team.
Yeah, I'm on the freshman team, yeah.
Yep, you went through tryouts, you were able to make the roster, you've been playing on the team. You guys have been having an outstanding season so far. What's your team's record right now?
I think we're 10-1 or 11-1.
Yeah, no, it was either 10 or 11-1. Yeah, it was pretty outstanding there. Great season. Tell me a little bit. What do you think has been your favorite thing about this year playing for the freshman team at Huron?
I I love my teammates. They're great friends of mine. They're phenomenal players and phenomenal people, and they deserve to be on this team. Also, also shout out to my coach, Coach Connor. He's a he's a great coach, and he gives us the motivation we need to be the great defensive team that we are. I I love running the press and on our defensive end. I love getting points in transition. I I just love everything about this team.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys defensively have been pretty amazing. It's fun to watch you guys because other teams they just do not know how to handle that press. They get trapped and they don't know what.
They can't. I said I said it before and I'll say it again. As long as our press is working, nobody can do anything.
Yeah, yeah, it's been fun to see. Yeah, so yeah, congrats on having a great season so far. Just a few more games left in the season, so we'll check back in about that maybe in the next episode and see how you guys finished out.
I'm gonna be so sad when the season ends.
Yeah, yeah. On to the next thing. Yeah, but let's go ahead and we'll kick it into the main topic then. We'll get into the trade deadline and all the deals that happened. And I just want to run down the list of some of the trades that happened this week and get your thoughts on where that places these teams in the NBA. So maybe let's talk about the big one first, the surprise one that came the night before the trade deadline. That was the Kevin Durant trade going to the
The elephant
Suns.
in the room.
Yeah, let's just start with that one. Um, with that deal, tell me where does that place the Suns either in the West or just overall in the NBA for the championship run this year?
Well, I think think that they should be the favorites to come out of the West, but it's not set in stone yet. Like you have other teams in the West, the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, uh, the Warriors, and all these teams. They have been together for at least 3 years now, and they have the experience that they need to be able to play together. We're in the second half of the season, and I think it'll take a little bit for Katie to get used to play with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre. But I think once the playoffs roll around, they'll be able to kick it in and be able to make a deep run.
Nice. So from that kind of leads me into the one of the other big deals of the trade deadline area, which was Kyrie going to the Mavericks. Where do they fall in the playoff race there, and are they going to be able to pull it together in terms of Luka and Kyrie playing together?
I just I just don't think they'll be a great fit though.
Hmm.
Like Kyrie is a phenomenal player, a generational talent, has been a top has been a top 10 player of this season.
Hmm.
But he's one of the worst. But he's probably the worst teammate and the worst leader in the history of the game. Like
In the history of the game, the worst.
possibly he's in that conversation to me.
Okay, yeah, you're not wrong.
It sounds crazy, but let's look at it. So first he gets drafted to Cleveland,
Right.
and they were never a winning team or had any post game experience until LeBron James caved in and saved him. And
Yeah.
and, and while he was terrific in those years with LeBron, he was kind of riding the coattails of the king. That
Yeah.
then forces a trade, gets out and gets out. He goes to Boston.
Hmm. How you doing, Boston?
He played great, but the team was better without him. Like they made the conference finals without him. And even right now, they're in a better better situation without Kyrie.
Hmm.
And then he comes to Brooklyn, and
Right.
the Nets have been a mess. Less than 2 seasons ago, they had arguably the most talented big three in NBA history, based on paper. But but now they're stuck with Ben Simmons. And do you really want Ben Simmons as your team's best player, as your team leader?
Yeah,
So
it's rough.
and pairing him with Luka Doncic, who by the way has had a history of not getting along with his teammates, Dennis Smith Jr., Kristaps Porzingis, both of them have had issues with Luka. How would the team work? Will Ky- will Kyrie be able to be accept being the second option? Will he be able to clean up all the stuff off the court? That's the biggest question with this Mavs team.
You said a lot there, and again, I don't disagree with any of it. So it's good to hear some of your points there. That being said, what other kind of deals do you think are impactful? The Lakers and getting D'Angelo back in LA with LeBron. What do you think about that?
I think D'Angelo Russell's having a bounce back year. He's kind of
Hmm.
since Brooklyn and the been in Golden State, he kind of dropped off. And I love D'Lo. He's one of my favorite point guards in the league.
Hmm.
And now he's starting to bounce back and having a very efficient year. And averaging 18 points and 6 assists a game. And I think he'll be a good fit to provide the 3-point shooting that this Lakers team needs.
Yeah.
So what do you think about these blockbuster trades?
I mean, I think it's one of those things. They make a lot. The trade deadline moves make a lot of headlines. I think it's rare that you have a trade really have a huge impact in that given year. The one exception this year possibly could be Durant, just because you could arguably say Durant is the best player in the league. You know, he's in that conversation. He's one of those players that you kind of, I mean, between Embiid and Giannis and Joker and those guys that are in that MVP category, he's really right there, even still. So when you see a player like that move, yeah, that has potential. Um, if you think about what the Suns were able to do last year and all that was on Chris Paul's back, and he had to carry that. This takes a little bit off of his back. He can really just focus on being a distributor. It takes something off of Devin Booker's back. He doesn't have to be the primary scorer. He can defer a bit. But you already called it out. Are they going to be able to figure out the chemistry side? They're going to be able to make that work and get a nice flow. Are they going to be healthy? I mean, that's another question there. I mean, all three of those players have had some injury issues. Are they going to be healthy for the long run in the playoffs? I don't know. So we'll see what happens there. Uh, I think the Warriors are going to be right there when it comes down to the bottom line in the West. I think it's going to be the Warriors. So we'll see.
I got the Suns and the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals.
You know, depending on seeding and where everything falls, yeah, I
Yep.
think that's your top two. Yeah,
But once again, the West is as strong as it's ever been, and you can't count out the Nuggets. You can't count out Denver. You can't count out Memphis. Even Dallas has a chance to make some noise.
no doubt.
So I can't wait for this postseason.
Yeah. So with that, we've gone long on this episode. We talked about a lot here. I know for our next episode topic, we want to have that be a really fun one. JP, we talked about doing a little trivia show.
Yeah,
Yeah, or maybe I can quiz you a little bit. I know you know all the facts. You have all that stuff down. So maybe we'll come up with a little trivia show on the next one. We'll see. We might have some more big news in the NBA that we got to talk about. So we'll see what happens.
better better do my homework then.
Yeah, yeah. And you ain't quizzing me because I already know you know more than me. So I'll find some stuff to
Ah,
quiz you, man.
you don't have to pin it on me.
It's all I do. So, all right, with that said, you want to sign us off?
Once again, congrats to LeBron. And with that being said, goodbye.
See y'all next time.